Kyrie Irving was once one of the league's most promising guards. Oh wait, he still is. How quickly they forget. That's just the type of society that we live in. You can argue now that Kyrie's Cleveland Cavalier days are somewhat of a blur. I mean, it feels like forever ago, right? And I'm not talking about the days he was teamed with LeBron. I'm talking about even further back. I'm talking about before the rings, before the glory. I'm talking about when the Cavs were bad. And I mean, I'm talking about when they were really bad. But I can tell you one guy on the team who wasn't. It's just crazy to me that there's this group of NBA fans that think Kyrie Irving somehow fell off while with the Boston Celtics. Kyrie averaged 24 points last season, and he shot 49% from the field. I will say the Celtics last season turned into somewhat of a toxic team, and you could tell that Kyrie wasn't enjoying basketball as much as he used to. Kyrie himself also admits that he could have been better for the Boston Celtics, and it's somewhat heartbreaking to think about. But this season the vibes seem a little different for Kyrie. He said himself, he's just a Jersey kid playing for his home team. This has been brewing since the 4th grade. He just wants to take advantage of that and just be happy. This video we're going to be talking about Kyrie's 50-point performance and what nobody is noticing about Kyrie Irving and the Brooklyn Nets. But before we go any further, guys, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss another GETLIKECOOP video. And that's facts. You guys have been showing a ton of support, man. I appreciate all of it. I appreciate everybody that subscribes to the channel. I am trying to get to 200,000 subscribers to go full time, guys. So be sure to subscribe so I can bring you guys more daily videos. Also, be sure to follow my IG, guys. Link in the description. Handle GETLIKECOOP. You won't want to miss a post. This game with the Brooklyn Nets and Kyrie Irving was special. Rarely do I ever see Kyrie Irving hit a level like this. Not only was Kyrie Irving engaged and actively looking to score the basketball, but he was also making an effort to set up his teammates. Kyrie finished the game with 7 assists, and the Nets as a whole were making some solid contributions scoring wise. Taurean Prince had 15 points. Joe Harris had 14 points. He was 5 of 9. Caris LeVert had 20 points. This is a guy whose potential is through the roof. Caris LeVert is going to be major. Kyrie was feeling so good this game. He was counting players after layups. He was just in an absolute different zone than everybody else on the court. And again, I can't stress enough that Kyrie Irving was not just chucking up shots. I felt like he was working for shots that he could hit. He was working for shots that were well within his reach to make. Just as a whole, I didn't feel like he was really forcing any shots. There are some players, when you see them shoot the ball, you could tell that guy's like, oh, I have to go get my shot. Well, the thing is, Kyrie can get his shot at any time. He said this before. It's just a matter of if he wants to get that shot and is he going to hit that shot. Touching back to Caris LeVert, I actually think LeVert is one of the ideal players to play with Kyrie Irving. I don't think LeVert is a guy that needs the ball in his hands consistently to be effective. I think LeVert can get a lot of baskets just slashing and just playing within the offense, which is ideal when you have a player like Kyrie Irving. LeVert is also a guy that can just get a majority of his buckets out in transition. Good, efficient shots. But he's also somebody that has high potential to score the basketball. I actually love the way that this Nets team is set up, and you guys should know that by now. They were good with D'Angelo Russell. D'Angelo Russell was phenomenal on this team. And now you upgrade D'Lo to Kyrie Irving. And yes, I'm calling Kyrie Irving an upgrade over D'Angelo Russell. Now you guys remember what I told you about Caris LeVert being the perfect running mate for Kyrie. You guys see some of that throughout this video. Also, what I think makes Kyrie so dangerous on the offensive end, or just part of what makes him so dangerous, is his ability to pass the ball at a high level. When you're scoring the ball effectively, it becomes easier to pass the ball. And Kyrie Irving can be a guy that does both at a really high level consistently if he wants to. Some players may try to do too much scoring, or just the passing ability isn't there. Some players may do too much passing, and just their scoring ability isn't there. Kyrie Irving being able to do both makes him an absolute nightmare to scheme against. But at times, people will not give Kyrie that credit. How many players are making that pass? How many players are dropping that dime? How many players are knowing where their shooters are at all times on the floor. The Nets bench as a whole has to do better. The bench cannot have one guy score 14 points and have that guy be the only guy score above 4 points and the Nets expect to win games. Their bench got outproduced by the Timberwolves bench. I don't think the Timberwolves bench is crazy. Like, they don't have one of the deeper benches in the league. I'm not saying it's terrible. I'm just not saying it's that deep. One thing I feel that fans aren't noticing, especially Nets fans, and it's kind of flown under the radar, is the regression of Rodions. This guy was really good with the Nets last season. He was a rookie that looked like a steal. He averaged 9 points a game in only 21 minutes. He shot 45% from the field. He was athletic, but also he was somebody that could play the 3 or the 4 position, which is so valuable in today's game. You need guys that are tweeners that are going to give you some lineup versatility. He looked like he was poised to take a big step forward this year. He's also somebody that has had some off the court troubles. The Nets are going to have to find a way to replace the production that he gave them. I'm not saying that his production is going to be all that moves the Nets, because we know the Nets are sorely missing Kevin Durant, but they need players that are just going to step up in every way possible. Again, I don't think Kevin Durant is replaceable, but if you have Kyrie Irving dropping 50 points and you're still losing at home the night of your season opener, then you have some problems that need to be ironed out. Now, Kyrie is a guy that is definitely capable to go off for 50 on almost any night. I'm not saying he's going to do it again. I'm just saying he's capable. You know the game that this guy has, and you can see that he has a different step and a different enthusiasm about him playing this year. It's infectious. I love it. Now, I know it's just the first game, and I'm not here to overreact, but I don't think the Timberwolves are going to be a team that's very good. Don't get me wrong. Rocco was definitely a monster pickup for the T-Wolves, and Jarrett Culver in the long term has potential to be a really great player in the NBA. But there still shouldn't be a team that should give this Brooklyn Nets team that made the playoffs last season problems. I know I've teased this for quite a bit, and the Nets have actually teased this too this offseason, but I think a really good pickup for the Nets will be Carmelo Anthony. I also know that I did say this in my Los Angeles Lakers video, but if you guys can't tell by now, I think Carmelo still has a lot to offer to a lot of these teams. He's a proven commodity in the NBA, and at this stage of his career, he's shown that he would do whatever it takes to get minutes, whatever it takes to be a consistent player. I honestly feel that he's done as much as he can to show that whatever ego that everybody thought he had is behind him. But regardless of how this Nets season ends up, I think Kyrie has already shown me enough that I can start considering him as an MVP candidate. I think that as the season goes on, Kyrie is only going to get better. Obviously, not saying that every game will be better than the 50-point game, but I think the Nets will grow together as a team, and I think he will start to learn some of his teammates' tendencies, and he will have even larger assist games than he's already having right now. I feel like nobody is really noticing this either, or talking about this. This is Kyrie Irving's first game as a Net, and in this game, he already is in such elite company. Kyrie Irving joined Reggie Miller and Damian Lillard as the only players in NBA history to have at least 50 points and 7 assists to go with 0 turnovers in the game. He had no turnovers. I don't think guys understand how hard that feat is by itself for a primary ball handler, especially one that had the ball in their hands as much as Kyrie Irving did this game. If you look at James Harden, Russell Westbrook, some of the other top players in the league, a lot of their huge games, they have a lot of turnovers. I can't wait for Kevin Durant to return so we can truly see how special this Brooklyn Nets team can be, especially if Kevin Durant comes back relatively healthy and Kyrie stays in his bag for the foreseeable future. This NBA season is going to be special. I feel like there's almost too much to talk about and not enough time. There are so many storylines in the NBA this season, I'm going to try to cover them all. Be sure to click the video on the screen right now, guys. It's me going over the Los Angeles Lakers, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis, what they could have did better. I'm D-Coop. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to subscribe and let me know what videos you want to see. I'm D-Coop, and I'm out.